Okay, so my first question is it true that women inherently hate each other? I mean, we hear this all the time. It's been said, people repeat it all the time, and nobody actually ever talks about it. It's been said as a given.
No, I don't think it's a blanket issue of women hating each other. Some women do, like when it comes to men. I mean, you made the example of the Gigaba saga, where they're fighting each other instead of fighting the person in the middle of all of this. So I think women tend to fight when it comes to men a lot of the time, but not all the time. I'd like to believe that the majority of women are dignified in situations like this.
And why is this? I mean, we fight for jobs sometimes, we fight for friends, but it seems to always escalate and become really, really ugly when there's a man involved.
I know, and it's like almost unfathomable. And I think men take advantage of that, where they kind of sense that the women will fight each other instead of fighting him, which is what we should be doing. I think the lack of sisterhood is inherent in our society. But I also think that there are people who succeed in creating a sisterhood and assisting each other, helping each other along. I mean, look at me, for example. I employ 80% black women. The other 20% is black male. But I subscribe to the idea of sisterhood.
One of the things is that women actually don't subscribe to the same ideology, and so when you have somebody who does subscribe to sisterhood, in this situation, I mean, how would it work? Because there's a rallying cry now everywhere, sort of like women together, we are women, hear me roar, and for the most part, because we're not homogenous, so everything isn't that we agree on everything, but there's a call to sort of like to be united and to uplift, support, and commune with each other. And what happens in situations where someone doesn't necessarily go with those values? Then what would you do?
Oh, it's a difficult one because you can't force people your values, but you can at least try to influence them by engaging them and trying to make them see that they need to be sisterly towards each other. I think this is a male world, just like it's a white world. So as much as I believe that black people should stick together and support each other, I believe the same of women as well. And that's cross-racial. The issue with women, it doesn't have anything to do with race, but we just all try to empower each other and also to minimize the fighting between us. I think the most I think the biggest thing that I've witnessed women fighting about is two things, actually. It's men, and the other one is in the workplace, where women don't necessarily want to empower each other. And at the same time, those who are on the lower sort of rung want to fight with women above them because they're jealous, which is a problem. So we need to celebrate being happy for each other at the same time as we, try to uplift others as well.
Do you think that it's possible for sort of like the sisterhood to exist when we're fighting over resources? So, I mean, I know some of them are artificially created. The idea that there's not enough men to go around is an artificially created sort of idea that, doesn't really exist. And so we're clamoring desperately to sort of reach this ideal. Can we have sisterhood without like examining like those things then? Like, there are not enough spaces for women CEOs at this job, or there are not enough spaces for this and this, so, things like that.
I think the resources, when you take men as an example, that's quite funny. But I think, I don't want to say we need to share, because that's not what I believe in as a woman when it comes to men. But I also believe that we need to try and respect each other. But at the same time, I also don't believe that women need to stay away from men because of another woman. Because half the time, it's the guy who's making the advances anyway. Well, not even half the time. 90% of the time. It's men who are making advances at women. So I don't believe it is the responsibility of the other woman, as the phrase is, to safeguard a relationship that's not theirs. And I believe that the people in the relationship need to safeguard their own relationship.
Why do you think we still give men that sort of, get out of jail free pass?
I think a lot of people are desperate to stay in a relationship, which is very disturbing. I grew up overseas in Europe, Norway, and infidelity is frowned upon there. People look at you like you're crazy when you tell them, I've forgiven him. It's just frowned upon. It's like drinking and driving. But there are certain values here that people say they have, but they don't actually have.
Okay. And yes, I'm done. Thank you. This was like a lovely discussion.